Hello students, this is Mrs. Sonal Patil. In a previous class, we had begun with the chapter Cell Cycle and Cell Division, in which we have studied up till mitosis. Today we will study about meiosis. The production of offspring by sexual reproduction includes the fusion of two gametes, each with a complete haploid set of chromosomes. So you already know that meiosis involves the fusion of two gametes, that is male gamete and the female gamete, with that is each one having the haploid set of chromosomes. Gametes are formed from specialized diploid cells. This specialized kind of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half results in the production of haploid daughter cells. This kind of division is called as meiosis. So because of which it is also called as reductional division, because of the number, that is nothing but because the chromosome number are reduced to half in meiosis. Meiosis ensures the production of haploid phase in the life cycle of sexually reproducing organisms, whereas fertilization restores the diploid phase. Here it tells that meiosis results into the production of haploid, that is nothing but it ensures the production of haploid phase, whereas during the fertilization what is happening is that haploid gametes are they fuse together to form diploid stage. So here it is, that is nothing but fertilization restores the diploid phase. This means that meiosis occurs during gametogenesis in plants and animals. This leads to the formation of haploid gametes. So the gametes, that is nothing but gametogenesis is the production of, it is a process of formation of gametes in plants. So meiosis is occurring in during the gametogenesis in plants and animals. That is nothing but during the gamete formation meiosis takes place. This leads to the formation of haploid gametes. The key features of meiosis are as follows. Meiosis involves two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division called meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Remember, meiosis is again subdivided into meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, but only a single cycle of DNA replication. Meiosis 1 is initiated after the parental chromosomes have replicated to produce identical sister chromatids at S phase, that is synthetic phase. Meiosis involves a pairing of homologous chromosomes and recombination between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. Four haploid cells are formed at the end of meiosis 2. So remember, meiosis 1 results into two haploid cells, whereas meiosis 2 results into the formation of four haploid cells. Meiotic events can be grouped under the following phases: meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, where meiosis 1 is again subdivided into prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1, whereas meiosis 2 is again further subdivided into prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. First we will study about meiosis 1, which involves the first stage is prophase 1. Prophase 1 of the first meiotic division is typically longer and more complex when compared to prophase 1 of mitosis. So prophase 1 of meiosis 1 is a longer phase compared to the prophase of mitosis. It has been further subdivided into the following 5 phases based on chromosomal behavior. That is, it is again subdivided into leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene and dikinesis. So these are the sub stages of meiosis 1. Very important question for 5 marks. During the leptotene stage, the chromosome become gradually visible under the light microscope. The compaction of chromosomes continues through leptotene. So remember, condensation is occurring during the prophase 1. So this will begin at the leptotene stage over here during prophase 1 of meiosis 1. This is followed by the second stage of prophase 1 called zygotene. During this stage, the chromosomes start pairing together, and this process of association is called as synapses. So here during zygotine, chromosomes start pairing, and that is called as synapses. Such paired chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. So those paired chromosomes are called as homologous chromosomes. Electron micrographs of this stage indicate that chromosome synapsis is accompanied by the formation of complex structure called synaptomal complex is being formed. The complex formed by a pair of synapsed homologous chromosome is called bivalent or tetrad. So it is called as, so the complex which is formed by paired synapsed homologous chromosome, it is now called as bivalent or a tetrad. The first two stages of prophase 1 are relatively short lived compared to the next stage, that is Pachytene. During this stage, four chromatids of each bivalent chromosome becomes distinct and clearly appears as tetrads. So during the Pachytene stage, tetrads are clearly visible. This stage is characterized by the appearance of recombination nodules, the sites at which crossing over occurs between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome. Very important to be remembered here. So pairing and later crossing over is occurring between the non-sister chromatids. Now crossing over is the exchange of genetic material between two homologous chromosomes. So homologous chromosomes are exchanging their segments, which is called that is nothing but they're undergoing crossing over. Crossing over is also an enzyme mediated process, and the enzyme involved is called recombinase. Crossing over leads to recombination of genetic material on the two chromosomes. Recombination between homologous chromosome is completed by the end of Pachytene, leaving the chromosomes linked at the site of crossing over. So at the end of Pachytene, recombination occurs. So here, firstly the crossing over is occurring, and then it will lead to recombination during this particular phase. Later, the beginning of diplotin is recognized by the dissolution of synaptomal complex and the tendency of the recombined homologous chromosomes of the bivalents to separate from each other. So do you remember, during diplotin stage, the homologous chromosomes start separating from each other except at the sites of crossing over. So they want to separate, so they undergo separation over here, but they are attached at the region called as nothing but crossing over has occurred. So there are sites of crossovers there. These X-shaped structures are called chiasmata. So they remain attached. Chromosomes are separating from each other, but they remain attached at chiasmata. In oocytes of some vertebrates, diplotin can last for months or years. The final stage of meiotic prophase 1 is dikinesis. This is termed by, or this is marked by terminalization of chiasmata. So terminalization of chiasmata is occurring during the dikinesis. During this phase, the chromosomes are fully condensed and the meiotic spindle is assembled to prepare the homologous chromosome for separation. By the end of dikinesis, the nucleolus disappears and the nuclear envelope also breaks down. Dikinesis represents transition to metaphase. So these are the sub stages under prophase 1. So here they have shown the diagrams over here about the sub phases of prophase 1. First is the leptotene, then comes zygotene. So here pairing of the chromosomes is occurring. During the Pachytene, you can see that they are exchanging the segments, so crossing over is occurring over here. And here you can see the diplotin. The chromosomes are trying to separate from each other, but they're attached at chiasmata, and finally they get separated with the exchange segments. So here they complete the crossing over and recombination process during the prophase 1. Metaphase 1 is the next stage. The bivalent chromosomes align on the equatorial plate. The microtubules from the opposite poles of the spindle attach to the kinetochore of a homologous chromosome. Remember here, during the metaphase 1, bivalent chromosomes align at the equatorial plate. That is a characteristic feature of metaphase. That is, they lie at the equatorial plate. Next stage is anaphase 1. During anaphase 1, the homologous chromosomes separate while sister chromatids remain associated at their centromeres. Now the last phase is telophase 1. the nuclear membrane nucleolus reappears, cytokinesis follows, and this is called as dyad of cells. Although in many cases the chromosomes do undergo some dispersion, they do not reach the extremely extended state of the interphase nucleus. The stage between the two meiotic division is called interkinesis and is generally short-lived. There is no replication of DNA during interkinesis. Interkinesis is followed by prophase 2, a much simpler prophase than prophase 1. So prophase 1 is quite lengthy, whereas prophase 2 is much simpler compared to this. This is the this diagram shows about the prophase 1, where it is meiosis 1, which is showing the substages here. Though this is a prophase 1. Second is metaphase, aligned at the equatorial plate. The bivalents are lying at the equatorial plate. Then this is the anaphase stage, where they start separating, and then this is the telophase being shown. So these are this diagram shows the stages of meiosis 1. Coming to meiosis 2, it involves prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. During prophase 2, meiosis 2 is initiated immediately after cytokinesis, usually before the chromosomes have fully elongated. In contrast to meiosis 1, meiosis 2 resembles a normal mitosis. The nuclear membrane disappears at the end of prophase 2. The chromosomes again become compact. So remember, meiosis 2 is similar to mitosis. Second stage is metaphase 2. At this stage, the chromosomes align at the equatorial plate or at the equator, and the microtubules from opposite poles of the spindle get attached to kinetochores of sister chromatids. Whereas during anaphase 2, it begins with the simultaneous splitting of the centromere. So centromere gets split over here of each chromosome, allowing them to move towards opposite poles of cell by shortening of microtubules attached to kinetochores. Then next is the telophase 2. Meiosis ends with the telophase 2, in which the two groups of chromosomes once again get enclosed by nuclear envelope. Cytokinesis follows, resulting in the formation of tetrad of cells, that is 4 haploid daughter cells. So remember, at the end of meiosis 2, 4 haploid daughter cells are formed. So those were the stages of meiosis 2. Coming to the significance of meiosis, meiosis is a mechanism by which conservation of specific chromosome number of each species is achieved across generations in sexually reproducing organisms, even though the process per cell paradoxically results in reduction of chromosome number by half. It also increases the genetic variability in the population of organisms from one generation to next. So you can say variations. It is because of meiosis, because here crossing over and recombination of genes is taking place, and because of which we can see genetic variability or variations in the individuals. Variations are very important for the process of evolution. So that was the significance of meiosis, and this is a diagram which shows the substages again of meiosis 2, prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and lastly the telophase 2. So these were the substages of meiosis 2. With this we will stop for today's class, and this completes this particular chapter. In the next class we will begin with the next chapter. Thank you.